Coming up next, a heartwarming story about a 12-year-old who raised thousands for his community through a passion, and the story of someone who got hired through a LinkedIn message. That and your calls coming up right now. I am coming to you live from our Ramsey Solutions studios in Nashville, and you have joined a conversation about who you are, what you were created to do, where you want to do it, and how you can get there. It is about your purpose, and your purpose isn't actually about you, it's about others. That's right. The dream job, living the dream, happens when you are using what you do best, your talent, to do the work that you love, your passion, to produce results through your work that matter deeply to you, your mission. You use what you do best to do work you love, to produce results that matter. This is what we were created to do. You were created to contribute. And so we have a different worldview of work here on the Ken Coleman Show. Life is too short to just work a boring 9-to-5 job just to be able to take care of your basic expenses and maybe make some memories. That's not life. So let's help you figure out where you are on the journey to working like no one else. Meaningful work. Are you at the base of the mountain, still in stage 1, which is get clear? Or are you in stage 2? You're clear, now you're on the journey to get qualified. Or are you qualified and you really need to be in stage 3, which is get connected? Or maybe you're ready to step into stage 4. You've got the connections and now you just got to work them. And step into stage 4, which is get started. Stage 5, get promoted. Stage 6, get the dream job. Stage 7, work like no one else to give yourself away. You expand the dream. It's about legacy. 844-747-2577. 844-747-2577. No matter who you are, where you are, we're all united around the desire to make a difference in this world. And you have the answers. It's my job to pull them out of you, to show you the patterns, and then help you come up with practical steps that will move you along that clear path, those 7 stages that I just outlined. 844-747-2577 is the number. You're one phone call away from clarity, from a cheerleader. 844-747-2577. You can also submit your question via the chat room. We'll get to that here on my laptop in a few minutes. And you need to follow me on Instagram at Ken Coleman. And you need to like today's show. If you're enjoying it, give us a quick thumbs up. It's right down below me. Subscribe and share. Our YouTube audience is growing like crazy. That means that we are equipping and encouraging people, and we want to do more of that. And you are how we get to do that. So if you consider that, I'd be grateful. But first, how about we start off with a really heartwarming story? Iowa boy makes 115 baseball bats to raise money for his community after a devastating storm. Tommy Romberg is 12 years of age, and he lives in Iowa. And in the late summer, a big-time storm came through and wreaked havoc on his community. And the idea for raising money for his community came out of a passion that had nothing to do with his community and the storm. Tommy wanted to give one of his friends a nice gift for his birthday. So post-storm, when many trees in his community, of course, were felled and laying around, he decided to take one of the fallen tree branches and make a bat for his pal. Pretty awesome. Love that. Then others started expressing interest in him making a bat for them. So when he realized, hey, people want to pay me for my custom handmade bats, he said, I could do something. Here's his direct quote. I didn't know people would be so interested in my bats, but since so many people in our area need help after the storm, I decided to work together with them to make a difference. Now, the first bat took Tommy 10 hours to whittle and sand out of a tree branch that was actually in his yard. And so then he enlists his grandfather to help him execute on the increase in orders. Now, it doesn't say in the article how much he's charging for the bats, but he promised to donate $20 from each purchase to go to the Greater Cedar Rapids Foundation Disaster Relief Fund. So who knows what he was charging? According to the local CBS News affiliate in Cedar Rapids, Tommy has now raised more than $2,500 to help out his community, with orders coming in from as far as Arizona and on the East Coast in Connecticut. Way to go, Tommy. I love that. And that just goes to show you that, hey, sometimes businesses and dreams are born out of a personal passion that we aren't even trying to make money on, but others begin to say, hey, I appreciate that. I want that. So don't overcomplicate this. You've got that side hustle idea. Don't overcomplicate it. Young Tommy, in his innocence of being 12, just said, yeah, I think I can make a bat. I think I like making bats. I'm going to make one for my pal. And he did such a good job, and people noticed it. And now we've got a business for this young man that is not just making money, but that is raising money for his local community, those in need. Wonderful story. What a great way to start off today's show. 844-747-2577 is the phone number. Let's get it started. Oksana is going to start us off. She is online in Phoenix, Arizona. Oksana, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hi, Ken. Thanks for having me.
You bet. How can I help today?
Yes. So I went through your career clarity guide.
Okay.
And thank you. I figured out my talents and passions, but I'm having a little hard time figuring out what my next steps would be, and what career I want to follow.
Great.
And there are like two reasons for that. One, that I've been mostly a stay-at-home mom, and the job that I've done, I don't want to do it anymore.
Uh-huh.
And the other thing that I'm a little new here in the U.S.
Okay.
I've been here for 4 years and staying, and it's like I don't know how some things work here. Sometimes I look through the job offers and the name of the job sounds good. When I go in, it's like nothing I would like to do.
Ah, got it.
And,
Okay. Let me ask you a quick question on that, and then we're going to dive into your results from the Career Clarity Guide. Yeah. When you notice jobs like that and you go in for interviews and it's completely something different than you thought, are you reading the job description before you?
Well, I haven't been on any interviews. I'm like, I read through the description and then I think, that's not what I want.
Okay, perfect. Okay, great. That makes sense. That makes total sense. I misunderstood. That's good. Okay, so do you have your results from the Career Clarity Guide, which, by the way, folks, is free at kencoleman.com. Do you have your results in front of you?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. When you filled in the purpose sentence, what does it read? Can you read that to me?
Yes. I want to serve and influence communities, teenage adults groups, in finding and fulfilling their dreams and overcoming some obstacles in life.
Okay, great. That's really good. So you want to serve and influence teenagers. Did I hear that correctly?
Teenagers and communities. So I have a little experience in that. I've been serving in Ukraine in youth camps.
Yes, wow.
And I enjoyed that very much.
Wow.
Best days of my life.
Really?
Yes. And when I came here, our church has a project. It does a Slavic festival for, I'm from a Slavic country, so we serve the Slavic community, and I enjoyed that a lot, like organizing events.
Okay, great. Oh my gosh. Oksana, so this is great. This is truly what you said. You know exactly what you want to do. We just got to find out where are all the places you can do that. So let me ask you this. In Phoenix, is there a robust, a good size, or at least organized, connected Slavic community?
Well, not really. So this festival was a part of organizing that community.
How many?
It's like
how many folks 14, are in that community?
14 countries that are now like Slavic. 14 countries now, and Slavic people. So it's like they don't always keep together.
I gotcha. All right, but here's what we do know: you love humans, whether they're Slavic or not. Correct?
Yeah.
All right. So where in Phoenix are the organizations, or rather, what are the organizations? If you don't know the answer to this, no problem, but this is what you have to identify. So step one is to say, who in Phoenix, what organizations, whether they be for-profit, nonprofit, ministry, church-type organizations, are serving teenagers, kids, adults that are down on their luck, like they're behind the eight ball, whether they're dealing with extreme poverty, substance abuse, physical abuse, but they're in a situation where they need intervention. They need somebody serving and helping. Have you identified all those different organizations in the greater Phoenix area?
No.
All right. So good news. You don't know where to go because you don't know where they are.
Yeah.
So this gets really fun, doesn't it, Oksana? Once we know the organizations, we've got ourselves a list. So I hope you have something to write with. If you don't, I want you to type it on your phone. I've got some homework assignments for you, okay?
I'm writing it down.
Yay! Here we go. I just gave you the first one. The first one is you must make a list of organizations that are serving the people you want to serve. You know who they are. Yes? Yes or no?
Yes.
All right, great. So you make a list of the organizations. Now, we're going to go do our research on the organizations, okay? And we're just going to get a good feeling about their mission, what they're doing, how they're doing it, where they're doing it. And while you're doing that, you're also looking and seeing, do they have any positions for hire, even if it's entry level, where that experience that you have, the best days of your life is what you describe that work as.
Oh, yeah.
So you know how to describe the work. You know what you can do.
Yeah.
And so you start to see, okay, how can I get in? Even if it's a receptionist position, or it's an assistant position, or it's a coordinator, whatever. You got to see what jobs these organizations have. Now, ideally, there's going to be some job openings that you can say, all right, I'm going to go after these. But there might not be, and you're going to have to wait a little bit, and you're going to keep your eye on them. And while you're doing that, you're beginning, and this is homework assignment 2. Homework assignment 2 is to begin to think, you've only been in the United States for 4 years, but you are active in a church locally. Your kids are active, and you probably know people, at least in acquaintance form. Social media, in-person contact, you've got to find out, do you know anybody that works at any of those organizations? That's where you start. Then if the answer is no, you go, do I know anybody who does know somebody that works over there? And then all of a sudden you're asking those people to become your ambassador to talk about you and say, Oksana's got a heart for this. She's got incredible experience. She's ready to go. And so that's the homework assignment. We've got to see what's out there. And then when you see what's out there, you go, okay, once I see the positions, are there any specific qualifications I might need? That's stage 2. So you're really at the end of stage 1 of my 7 stages, which is get clear. You know what you want to do, but you need to get clear on where you can do it in Phoenix. That'll finish stage 1 for you. Now, and identifying that in the position that open. Stage 2 is there any specific qualifications I need? There might not be. Because as someone who's coming out of the home, been in the home for a while, entry level is going to be okay for you. True or false?
Yes.
Of course.
That's what I was looking at. I figured out that I need like entry level.
Perfect. You know what they want for entry level, Oksana? They want somebody who's got huge heart for the work, and you do. They hear you talk about your past experience in your homeland, and they hear you talk about how it was the best day of your life and you love it and why you love it, and then they know that you're high character. You're going to get the job. Oksana, this is exciting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now listen.
Yeah, but it's also a little intimidating.
Yes, I get it. It's intimidating. It's intimidating because you're going, oh, what if they say no to me? So what if they say no to you? Does that make you a person who's not worth anything? Does that make you a failure? No, it just means not here. Not yet. You go to the next one. But Oksana, I'm going to tell you right now, there's always a massive need in the space that you want to be in, because not everybody has the heart to serve the disenfranchised. Not everybody. It's a special select group of people, and it's people like you that make a massive difference in their lives. So I want your chin up. I want your eyes up. I want you stop focusing on what you're intimidated by, which is rejection, what an interview might be like. You're fine. You got everything it takes. And you really leverage your relationships. And I want you to get around, start showing up and volunteering at some of these places. Do you realize that sometimes the best way to get hired at a place like this is to volunteer? And I've got a plan for you. It's called the proximity principle. It says, in order for Oksana to do what she wants to do, she's got to be around people who are doing that work and in places where that is happening. I've got my #1 best-selling book, The Proximity Principle, as a gift for you right now. How does that sound?
Oh, thank you.
Now listen, if you just read each chapter and do what I tell you to do, there's a short list of homework. It'll tell you everything to do, and you're going to get the gig. Hang on the line. I believe in you, Oksana, and you got to step forward. I'm giving you the roadmap. I'm giving you the guidebook, whatever format you want. Hang on, Madison, let's get her whatever format she wants of the proximity principle. For the rest of you, you can get it, I guess, by calling into the show. I just give the book away all the time, Joe, but that's fine. But for those of you who don't want to call into the show, go to kencoleman.com and you can get all 3 formats for one low price. You know, it occurs to me, if you need the book and you call into the show, I'm going to give it to you. And that's fine. For the rest of it, you got to buy it. Maybe that'll motivate more people, Madison. You're laughing pretty hard about that. Really? What do you say to them? Yeah, you got to at least have the guts to call me. Then I'll give you the book. The rest of you buy it. Now, hold on a second, folks. I got 3 kids. Mama needs a new pair of shoes. I can't be giving it away all the time, right, Joe? I mean, come on, man. You can get for $20 at kencoleman.com. All 3 formats. That means you get it and you get 2 versions to hand to somebody else. Come on, folks.
Your future will thank you.
Gee whiz. What am I supposed to do? Dance for free, Joe? Come on now. I'm having fun. You guys are great. All right, Braden is up next in Dothan, Alabama. Joe, you know where that is.
Sure do.
Braden, excuse me. You're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hey, Ken, how you doing today?
I'm living the dream, Braden. What's going on with you?
I'm doing all right. I have a question for you.
Okay.
I need some help finding out the role that God has created for me to fulfill. Mm-hmm. And I know my top talents and passions, but I'm having trouble finding my mission.
Oh, this is going to be so easy. Because once you know your talent and passion, talent's what you do best, passion is the work you love to do, then mission is really easy. So that's going to be fun. So tell me what you wrote down, what you know your top talents are, things you do best, hard skills, soft skills.
All right. So what I have from my most to my least is going to be talking with people, just having a communication with them and understanding how they feel. Mm-hmm. Second is going to be critical thinking. And then third is going to be explaining things to others, basically training others in work environments. Mm-hmm. And then I have mathematics and breaking up tension in stressful situations.
As talent?
Yes, sir.
Okay, communication. I'm adding a word in here that you didn't say, but I think it's true. Tell me if I'm right. I wrote underneath communication, I wrote connecting with others.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Then we have critical thinking.
Yes, sir.
And then you said, I'm going to call it instructing. That's my word for what you said next. Is that right?
Yes, sir. That sounds fine.
And then mathematics. And what did you say the last one was?
Breaking up tension in a stressful environment.
Interesting. So you're a peacemaker.
Yes, sir. Kind of, sort of.
Yeah. Okay. All right. All right. Now, what did you write down for passion, work you love to do?
So I love leading a team towards a goal. Mm-hmm. I also love helping others grow in the workplace. Mm-hmm.
That I would call that same as leading. We'll say that's developing, but that's all a part of being a good leader. Leading and developing. Okay, keep going.
The third one's kind of funny. I love managing my own money.
Well, that's personal, so I wouldn't call that work you love. But do you like helping other people manage their money?
Yes, sir. Whenever I get the chance to.
Okay, well, let's call that what that is. You like managing, guiding other people on how to handle their finances, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, man, that's good work. All right, anything else?
So at this point, I got kind of, I don't know, I couldn't really get anything good. But
all right, hold on. Okay, I'm going to stop you. Well, no, wait a second. I want you to say what you're going to say, but then I'm going to stop because you're starting to lock up, and I'm going to show you how you don't need to be locked up. But tell me what you were about to say, then I'm going to go somewhere.
All right, so my fourth one is creating financial plans. I was kind of going off the managing my own money thing.
Yeah, same thing.
And then my fifth one is going to be learning for the future. I read a lot of books, and I listen to a bunch of podcasts, including yours and Mr. Dave's.
Okay, great. So that's good. All right, so here's what I wrote for passion. Leading, which I threw developing in that one. Guiding people on their finances. It's the same as financial planning, so that's all one thing.
Yes,
and
sir.
then I'm writing down learning. You're a learner. Okay, so you're passionate about learning. So, but what you need to understand is that the things that you're talented at, most likely you enjoy doing those things. Do you like communicating and connecting with others?
Absolutely.
You love it, don't you?
Yes, sir.
Well, that's work, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So communicating and connecting with others comes over to passion as well. Do you see where I'm going?
Yes, sir, I do.
You're good at critical thinking. Do you enjoy the critical thinking? I'd call that analysis. Do you enjoy that work as well?
I sure do.
Oh my gosh, look what's happening. And then you're good at mathematics and numbers in general. Do you like working with numbers?
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm. See, I think you like working with numbers on behalf of people. I don't think you're a guy that just likes working with numbers for operational purposes and systems. I think it's more on behalf of people. Is that true or false?
I would say that's true.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so when we get to mission, so you're super clear on talent and passion, but you're locking up on mission. But remember, mission just simply is the results of that work that you love to do, which we just went through. And we go, if I am communicating and connecting, if I am leading and developing, if I am guiding others in financial planning, if I am learning, what do I want the result of that to be? If I'm doing all those things in the workplace, all of those things, communicating, connecting, critical thinking, instructing, leading, advising, all of those things produce a result. So I've made this super simple for you. What do you want to produce? What results do you want to produce in your work?
I'd like to help people get their finances straight and just make communication and connection while I do it.
Now, how fun does that sound, my friend Braden?
That sounds pretty fun. But my question is, would that be like a financial advisor type role?
There's where you got locked up. See, you're worried about the title, aren't you? Instead of, what results do you want to produce?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now that we know that, you are now going into the right. So once we know what our purpose sentence is, and you do now, right? I'm going to use my top talents of communication and critical thinking and instruction to do the work of leading, guiding, learning, right? You can just, whatever words you want to use there off of that big list, to produce the results of financial awareness, financial discipline, and financial peace for others. Does that sound about right for you?
Yes, sir. It sure does.
All right. So how are the ways you can do that? Certainly financial planning. So like our Smart Vestor Pros, are you familiar with Ramsey Solutions and our Smart Vestor Pros? These are the men and women that are guiding people with their investments for retirement and dreams and all kinds of things. You understand that term?
Sir.
Okay, great. So certainly a Smart Vestor Pro using our language, but a financial planner, an investment advisor, however you want to say that. You could be a certified public accountant for small businesses and essentially give that advice to a small business owner. So you're not just helping them with their taxes and their balance sheets, but also how the company would invest, right?
Yes,
Long-term.
sir, that sounds awesome.
So, I mean, you've got certified public accountant, you've got investment advisor, certainly stockbroker. I mean, you understand what's out there. Now that you know what you want to do, financial coaching, you could eventually start your own business there and make that your full-time gig if you want to do one-to-one coaching. But, it just depends on what specific area you want to go into. But now it's just you looking at the marketplace going, how are all the ways I can do that? And I just gave you several. Then you look at stage 2, because you're clear. Stage 2 is get qualified. So if I identify 3 or 4 positions in the marketplace that would allow me to live the dream, what do I need to learn? What do I need to do? How much is that going to cost? How long is that going to take? Those are your 4 questions you've got to answer in stage 2, get qualified.
Okay.
And by the way, those answers will help you decide and come up with the plan going forward. Okay? And then
Yes, sir.
you're in stage 3, which is getting connected. While you're getting qualified, you're making connections. You're finding out who the SmartVestor pros are in Dothan, Alabama, or in a nearby area. Hey, I'm a big Dave Ramsey Solutions guy. I listen to the Dave Ramsey Show. I listen to the Ken Coleman Show. He told me to come talk to you. And you need to begin to build relationships with people that are doing what you want to do so that opportunities are coming your way while you're getting qualified. So that's your path. Any questions on that?
No, sir, not really.
Come on, Braden. It's time to go, don't you think?
Yes, sir.
How old are you, Braden?
I'm only 17.
Only
I'm trying to get ready for college.
17. My man. You are way ahead of the game.
I'm trying my best.
So here's the deal. What degree do you think you need to get that will help you move forward on all this?
Probably business management with accounting.
I think so too. And by the way, who's to say you can't get certified in one of your summers as a financial planner?
You're right.
I know. I love being
You're
right.
absolutely right.
I know. You could have people dying to hire you before you even get out of college. So this is awesome, man. I'm so proud of you. Thank you for listening to the program at 17. Thank you for calling. Spread the word to all them 17-year-olds that need to be listening to my show. How about you?
Hey, I'm trying my best. I've already lended your book to somebody else.
Attaboy. Hey, let me ask you a question, Braden. Are you an Alabama football fan?
I am.
All right. Well, because Joe, the producer, is got his Alabama hat on today. Now, this is going to drive Madison nuts, Braden, because she is a Georgia fan. But there he is. You can see Joe. He's got his Alabama Crimson Tide hat on. Braden, I'm going to let you end this phone call with the beloved speech that all you Alabama fans say to each other. And Joe, if you want to respond, turn your mic on, and we're going to let it happen. Are we ready, Joe? Are you ready, Joe?
Sure.
All right, Braden, take it away. What do you say to him?
All I gotta say is roll tide, roll, baby.
Roll Tide.
Oh my gosh. I'm going to have to pay penance to Madison for that for years to come. But I'll tell you this, the next time we get a big Georgia fan on the line, we'll do a little Go Dogs action.
Oh, I already do that.
You do it, just
When
not
I
on the
talk to
air.
them. Yeah.
Oh, that's
Go
fine.
Dogs.
But I felt like I needed to do that because not only does Joe have his hat on, he's got his Alabama Oxford on. Got his A over his pocket protector there, or whatever that is in his pocket.
Pocket protector. You're funny.
What is that?
The pocket.
Well,
just a pocket.
what's inside the pocket? Oh,
His cell phone.
My
your
phone.
cell phone. Okay, very good. All
They
right.
don't even play this weekend.
I know.
Yeah. It
Plus,
was
he's
looking
going to a pep
good
rally.
I
right
know.
until they canceled it.
I know. Well, COVID does not care about college football. It's gonna COVID. So there you go. Fun stuff. 844-747-2577. How about that? 17-year-old. Quick little thing on this. Braden is an example. By the way, we've had Madison, I don't want to overstate this. Would you say we've had a handful, 4 to 5 17-year-olds call
Yeah, I love it. Every
over
time.
the last 3 years? I'm not saying every 17-year-old is as clear as Braden is, but parents and grandparents and teachers and influencers over 18-year-olds, 17-year-olds, don't just assume that they don't have enough life experience that they can't figure out their sweet spot. I'm not saying every 17-year-old does. I would say there's less that can figure it out than do. But I'm saying that we don't just need to force all these kids to go to college to find themselves. That's all I want to say. 844-747-2577. Okay, we got to hustle. Boy, we got a great story, by the way, coming up. A LinkedIn story, by the way. Okay, what do we got here? Let's see. Dean writes in, what are your thoughts on taking a demotion to scale back on workload to pursue the sweet spot dream? Okay, my thoughts are, if you can make some sacrifices financially and weather the storm, and meaning, I guess in this case it's not a storm because it's a purposeful cut. So if you can get through on your budget and not put you and your family in financial hardship, then I'm fine with it if it's short term. To Totally fine with it. Because I did that. I mean, Stacy and I, but I mean, we had to sit down and we said, okay, I'm going to intentionally make less money in my own business so that I could put more time into pursuing broadcasting. I mean, Joe watched me do that. But again, we had a plan. We said, okay, if I'm making this amount of money now and I go back to this amount, what would have to change in our life? And so we tightened everything to be able to not put my family and 3 little ones into any kind of hardship. So if you do that, I think it's great. You got to have a clear expectation on it. It may take me a year, may take me 2 years, but I know that if I stay with it, I will rise out of this season of sacrifice. So that's great. Mitchell writes, how do I help a 20-year-old friend who has no career plan? He moved out of his parents' house and in with his grandparents. He was into multi-level marketing, but says it fell through because of COVID. He also won't budget. This is tricky because I don't know the relationship here and how good of a relationship it is, how much of a truth teller you are, how does this guy receive that kind of nudge? But there will be many times where no matter our best efforts and how pure our heart is and how soft we nudge our friends, they just won't do it. So I think the key is instead of pushing and nudging all the time, I think you push, I think you nudge. If the push and the nudge don't do anything, the only thing you can do is just stay consistent in your support and encouragement, some ideas here and there. Don't quit on them, but don't become an irritant. But a steady drip of belief is all you can do. And just like a steady drip of water can hollow out a stone, that's what you got to do. And you got to hope that you can hollow them out to where they go, you know what? You've been telling me this for years or months or weeks, and I believe it. That's all you can do. 844-747-2577. All right, I want to close with this. This is so good. LinkedIn message that took 2 minutes to write got the sender a job at a successful startup, even though they weren't hiring. Now, I am a fan of LinkedIn. I think it's a wonderful tool. I have said many times, and I'll reiterate, that I believe LinkedIn is incredible for information. It's not the best place for connection other than if you see that there's a connection, and then I really encourage that you don't just rely on LinkedIn messaging. Can it work? Yes, I'm about to prove it. But I would never rely solely on that. I would work to find out a real life connection and get to them that way. But in this situation, if you're going to reach out on LinkedIn, this is why I'm sharing this story. This is how you do it. Catherine Minshew is the co-founder and CEO of The Muse, which is a career advice and job listing site. I'm very familiar with it because I watch a lot of their content. They put some good stuff out. She received a message on LinkedIn from Elliot Bell. And at the time, she was not looking to hire a director of marketing. But when she got the message, it was only a few months later that she actually hired him. And so here's the full text. I want to read the message, and then I'm going to break it down what he did right. And you need to use the same strategy for a LinkedIn message. Hi, Catherine. While slightly out of place, I attended the Women 2.0 conference yesterday with Eat, Drink, Jobs and had the chance to see you speak. I was blown away by you, your team, and most of all, your company. I have spent 6 years at Seamless.com working closely with amazing leaders like Jason Finger, who you know well. I see such amazing potential in your company, and I would love to be a part of it in any way. My primary focus is in marketing with a lot of experience marketing to the same corporations and users you attract. I'd love to tell you more about how my skill set could help you reach and exceed your current growth goals. Congrats on all your current success. Again, I'd love to find a time to chat more about the company and tell you how I could help. So now here's the breakdown. First thing he did was he included something personal. I saw you speak at a conference yesterday. It was fresh on her mind. She probably had a good feeling about it. I saw you speak. Then he said something nice. I was blown away by you and your company. Then he expressed what I believe is the magic elixir to opening up opportunities: enthusiasm. He said, I'd love to be a part of your company in any way. That's enthusiasm. Belief in the mission. Then he shared a couple of sentences about his background. Just enough that she could see, oh, this guy's legit. Then, and I think this is actually the stroke of genius in this message, he mentioned the name of a mutual connection. I worked closely with Jason, who you know well. So what he's doing is he's basically saying, you could check me out to see if I'm a nut job. And then finally, he didn't make it ask like, give me a 30-minute phone call, an hour. I'd love to come meet with you and do a pitch. He just left it open-ended. And he mentioned it twice. I'd love to tell you more. And then he says at the very end, I'd love to find a time to chat. He leaves it open-ended to her. It's not pushy, but he's basically saying, I want the chance to convince you that I deserve a job with you. That is absolutely boilerplate, perfect how to do it. And I would use that as a guide for any social media outreach, because people, they don't check those all the time, and it feels like you're just wanting something. That was a beautiful, beautiful demonstration. Really, really good. That's how you do it. All right, Joe. Looks like my time is almost up. But before I let you go, I want you to know that you matter and you do have what it takes. Thank you so much for joining us. Until next time, this is the Ken Coleman Show. Press on.